Good morning, everyone, and thanks a lot for the kind welcome. I would like to talk about the future of banking today, and I would like to talk about this topic alongside the example of my own startup, Number26. Number26 is a classical Berlin-based venture-funded fintech startup. We have a team of 150 people working on better banking. We founded the company in 2013, and we launched our product in January 2015. We acquired about 160,000 customers since then, which makes us one of the fastest growing banks in Germany. What you see on the right side of that slide is the countries we're active in. We have the vision to build the first pan-European bank in an extremely fragmented European banking market. It's a market where you have French banks for French customers, German banks for German customers, Italian banks for Italian customers, and so on. And we believe it's time to build one bank based on one IT platform and based on one license, serving customers in all these countries. What's the product of Number26? We offer a mobile-first bank account for the digital native. It's an account. It has a couple of cards attached to it, a Maestro card, a MasterCard. It offers full bank functionality for the customers, and it gives the customers one-touch access to financial products. Let's look at today's digital native and the products they are using. It's actually quite interesting to look at certain industries that have already been disrupted in the past, that have been disrupted by mobile development, by the internet, by startups. Think about how you used to do communications, how we used the phone, how we were writing short messages. Then companies like WhatsApp and Skype came and revolutionized this market. Today, Skype has a market share of about 50% of all international calls worldwide. Think about how the experience is ordering a cab. And then think about the Uber experience. You get everything out of one app. It's not about getting from A to B, but what Uber has discovered, it's about the experience you provide to customers. You order a car, and then you see how the car is approaching on the app on your mobile phone. And suddenly, all the stress relieves because you can actually see, you know when the car is coming, and you see it approaching. And then you enter the car, and then the checkout process. You just get out of the car and walk away, and payment is done in the background. Think about music, how this was revolutionized by Spotify and others. Think about how we used to rent videotapes. That was exchanged by Netflix and other companies, providing a totally different experience to the customer. Accommodation, it's another concept. Think about the Airbnb experience. You get everything out of one app. You look for accommodation, you book accommodation, you find accommodation, you book accommodation, you communicate with your partner, and in the end, the payment also works through this app. Why am I talking, the topic is the future of banking, why am I talking so much about other industries? Because the parallels of those industries a couple of years ago and banking today are actually quite striking for me. We have seen a massive shift in user behavior, coming to that a little bit later. And we have seen that all these industries have not been disrupted by incumbents. It wasn't the big telephone operators that invented Skype. It wasn't the big music companies. It wasn't the big record stores that have invented Spotify. Look at all those industries. Disruption and real innovation never comes from the incumbents. And now, think about finance. Finance actually is at the center of the customer. It actually affects all all the other sectors. We believe customer experience is key. Let's look at a quote of Steve Jobs, the visionary founder and leader of Apple, which is the most valuable company on the planet today. You've got to start with the customer experience and build the product around it. Another famous quote of Steve Jobs says, design is not just what it looks like and what it feels like, design is how it works. So what you can actually see is that Steve Jobs put the customer experience and the user in the center of the product development. So what do banks do? Banks are corporate, banks are slow, banks are regulated. We were looking at what is actually the focus of traditional banks, and we were searching the annual reports of all these banks. What do you think about? Like how often mobile apps, online banking, how often is that being mentioned in those reports, and how often is branches and regulatory stuff being mentioned in those reports? It's like this, and like this. So I think it's fair to say that banks truly have a wrong focus today. Banks are static, banks are analog. We see a massive shift in user behavior in banking. The same shift we have seen in many other industries before. It's a shift from offline to online to mobile. People used to go to the bank branches in the past, then they started to do online banking. Today, they do more and more mobile banking. It's the same like in many other industries. Think about media. People used to read the newspapers sitting in the underground, then they read it on a desktop online. Now they use it, they read it on the iPads and on the smartphones. Actually, we've seen that the focus is very much on the branches, and it's not so much on the mobile products, and it's not so much on the online products. If you think about that, think about yourself. When have you been the last time in your bank branch? And it's pretty obvious that in a time where 20, 30, 40, 50, 60% of customers are not going to bank branches anymore, it's impossible for a bank to differentiate itself from the competitors by the density of the branch network, by the quality of the staff, and things like that. The way you can actually differentiate yourself would be by the mobile products, and it would be by the online products, because that's the things most people see and most people perceive. But if you look at the interfaces of the big European banks, they look like this, and they look like this. They're ugly, they're totally interchangeable, they are not intuitive, and they are designed in a very, very poor way. Banks have legacies to carry, banks are working on core banking systems which are 30, 40 years old, which are written in programming languages most people don't understand anymore today. Banks are outdated. Banks are offline. Why did we enter that space? We believe that the financial service industry is the area most ready for disruption. We have seen other industries that have been disrupted. We believe financial services is the area most ready for disruption because there is no other space that's so much dominated by old-fashioned, by slow, by boring, by little innovative, by static players. Let's have a look at our own product. We designed a bank account for a smartphone. It's a mobile-first product. Every development we do for the smartphone first. At Number26, and just talking about a couple of the features, you can open a bank account fully on your smartphone. It doesn't take you more than a couple of minutes. And you can do the verification of the customer, the so-called Know Your Customer process. You can also do this via a video conference. So you don't have to change the media. You take the smartphone, and then after a couple of minutes, the account opening process is completed, and you already get your bank account number. We try to bring smartness to the account, and we try to bring a strong real-time concept to the account. You're connected with users at every point in time. You can do peer-to-peer payments in real time. you can zoom in into any transaction. Like every transaction is immediately categorized once you do it. We try to help you in personal finance management. We try to show you your expenses like in an intuitive and convenient way. We also try to partner a lot with other fintech companies, like trying to bring the best products on the planet together. We've seen in the financial service industries, we have seen a lot of the so-called unbundling over the last couple of years. That means that that startups focused on certain profitable niches over the last couple of years, which used to be traditional playgrounds of banking. Startups were starting to do peer-to-peer payment, peer-to-peer lending, cross-currency transfers, investment, savings, and many other aspects. What we are trying to do is we start very basic with a lean product. We start with the bank account, and we are building the experience around it. And we are building the products around it. If you ask a customer today, why are you with Number26, he's probably going to say because he likes the he likes the user interface, he likes the design. Like in 1 year from now, like most customers will probably say they're with Number26 because it gives them access to the best product in every category, be it savings, be it insurance, be it investment, be it credit, and others. Just to show you a couple of examples, what we understand of integration with partners. One example, we do this together with a Berlin-based startup called Barzahlen. We were thinking about what's the last advantages of traditional brick-and-mortar banks. And we came up with actually paying in cash, because actually with a bank without branches, with Number26, you couldn't pay in cash. And we were thinking about actually using the network of the big retailers for doing that. So if you want to pay in cash with Number26 today in Germany, you open your app, you generate a barcode like this, you go to Rewe, to all of the big retailers, and you present the barcode. They will be scanned in. You give them €100 or whatever, and this amount is immediately credited to your account. It's an interesting thing because it means that we have now more places where you can pay in cash in Germany than the biggest 3 banks together. Like to give you a feeling, we have 6,000, 7,000 places where you can pay in cash. Deutsche Bank, which is one of the big German banks, obviously has about 700 branches. How are we developing our product? We start with the bank account. We try to bring smartness to the account. This is also like a concept which is very different to what traditional banks are doing, because their IT systems, they're just good in reporting, but they're not good in deriving data from the customers, like re-aggregate those data, analyze those data, and do something with the data. Give the customers recommendation, for example. They would really need something like you have 10,000 euros laying around on your account and actually being offered a very clever banking product and an investment product that's really suited to your needs. And the next step, as I said before, is we want to build the FinTech Hub. What's our understanding of banking for the digital native, of banking for a truly digital world? We believe banking should be digital. We believe banking should deliver value to customers. And we believe that banks should focus on technology. I think it's important to put the user at the core of the experience. Like you have to think really with every feature you develop, with every product you launch, with every decision you take, you should actually think about the user. What is good for the user? What gives the user the biggest benefit? Obviously, we are focusing on building a digital organization. We try to grant a friction-free experience with everything we do. Like I talked about partnering with other startups. For us, it's very important that the customer has like kind of the one-click experience. Like investing money with a partner of Number26 should just be a matter of a couple of clicks. And it should be a total seamless integration, that the customer is aware that he's actually doing business with another company, but besides that, he's never getting out of the Number26 experience. We believe that we should be capital light, like not building, like banking today works around very big balance sheet. We believe we shouldn't build up a really big balance sheet, but we should very much focus on the things we believe we're good in, like the user experience, the design, and the structuring of the best product. Technology is a really important concept. Like we want to build systems where we can onboard customers at 0 incremental cost. For us, with the systems we have built, it doesn't matter whether we sign up 50 customers a day or whether we sign up 50,000 customers a day. And we have actually proven that we can maintain customers on our IT systems at a very, very, very small fraction, at a tiny fraction of the cost of any traditional bank with their legacy system. Thanks a lot for your attention, and I'm looking forward to a great discussion.